Hi, everybody. You want to hear the story? The story of me making a movie with Scott Baio? Well, it isn't as glamorous or exciting as it might seem. When I was 16, I was sitting in English class. There was a knock on the classroom door. It was an assistant principal, Principal Swidarski. He wanted to see me in the hall, and I was scared to death because I only knew this principal that he was in charge of discipline. And I thought, I didn't do anything wrong. What am I going to get in trouble for? So when I went into the hall, my stomach was already in knots. Well, he had a big smile on his face. He said, "Hey, I want to tell you about an opportunity." And he explained the whole thing, that the MTM movie production company was coming to Madison, Wisconsin, to our high school to film an after-school special to be shown in the following year. And they had several small speaking parts that they wanted local students to audition for. And he thought I would be great. You see, I'd been involved in our theater department there in high school. It's kind of what saved me because I was pretty shy in high school. I know it's hard to believe, but I was the preacher's daughter and everybody didn't really know what to do with me socially. And so I was excited to audition for this movie. I got the information and realized, the auditions are downtown Madison at one of the large hotels, but the date of the audition is right during the days off for Thanksgiving. Well, my family already had plans. We were going to go to Kansas City for Thanksgiving, so I had a choice to make. Be home without family on Thanksgiving and go to the audition, or skip an audition and go and be with my extended family. Well, almost everybody had a unanimous opinion. You need to audition. So I stayed home. My parents arranged for somebody to stay at the house with me so I wasn't alone. And the day came and I drove downtown Madison, which was scary because I was a new driver and Madison downtown had several one-way streets, so I went super early. Found a good parking space, made sure my hair was brushed, put a little lip gloss on, had some mascara, and off I went. Into the hotel, up to the ballroom, and then I was shocked when I looked down the hall right by the ballroom and saw 75 to 100 girls from the Madison area there to audition. I thought, this was a waste of time. I'm never going to be chosen for a speaking part out of all these girls. They're all going to be better than me. You know, in high school, that insecurity of thinking you're just not quite good enough. Oh, yeah. I had a big, full-blown case of that. But I got all the papers filled out, and I sat down, and they said, "We'll call your name when it's your turn." So I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. The longer I waited, the more convinced I was that I was not going to be chosen for anything, and really wished I'd gone to Kansas City. Finally, it was my turn, and I went in, and it was like a blink, and it was over. They asked me my name, what my hobbies were, a couple other questions. I think they mainly wanted to hear my voice and see my facial expressions and make sure there wasn't anything too weird. And then I was done. They said, "Okay, we'll give you a call or let you know if you get selected." I said, "Okay, well, if you could let me know soon." And, I gave up a lot to come to this audition. I didn't go to Thanksgiving with my family. Now I laugh at that, and I just think they probably rolled their eyes and said, "Yeah, who cares?" And I left. And a few days later, I got a call, and I got a letter. I had been chosen for a speaking part. And they gave me the information about the dates of filming, where to show up. I couldn't believe it. Several weeks later, all of the production trucks arrived at our high school. And they did all the filming on Saturday and Sunday. And I had to show up early Saturday morning, 7 a.m., bring 2 or 3 changes of clothing because they would be filming and I was to be in a classroom that was supposed to be a couple, 2 or 3 or 4 different scenes happening on different days. So I had to bring my own wardrobe. I went to the table where somebody was sitting who looked like they were in charge. They said, "Oh, you have to go to your trailer." I said, "My trailer?" They said, "Oh, yes, you and the other person that has a small speaking part, you have your own trailer, and the hair and makeup people will meet you there. I said, oh my goodness. So I found my trailer. It was pretty close to Scott Baio's trailer. Went inside, and sure enough, there was a hair person, a makeup person. The hair person, she did my hair. I hated it. She made it super puffy, and I thought I looked ugly. And the makeup person put a little makeup on me. I couldn't really tell any difference. And then the costume person said, oh, let me see what you brought for your change of clothes. And noticed that what I brought just wasn't going to work. I thought, you're kidding. So then she did something weird. She said, I want you to wear my blouse and my sweater, and then you can change into something else for the next scene. So she took off her blouse and sweater. She went off and found a t-shirt, and I had to put on her blouse and sweater. That was weird, but I didn't question it because, what do I know about filming a movie? And into the high school, in front of all of the cameras and the director and the producer, I was instructed where to sit. I was told when I would be saying my lines, which incidentally, everything got cut and edited out except one speaking line remained in the final cut of the movie. You see, I played the character Melinda in Spanish class, and Melinda was not a very good student. And so when the teacher passed back tests, he handed Melinda her test, and on it was a C+. And so my big line that remained in the movie was, wow, I got a C+. All day they filmed. It was so fun. It was so interesting to watch the paid, known actors and actresses. Scott Baio, Lance Kerwin. In fact, we even had a break for lunch, and I got to eat from the craft food table. I got to sit at a table right next to Scott Baio's table where he was eating with some of his co-stars. That was pretty cool. I didn't really want to meet him. I never tried to talk to him. I thought he doesn't care. I just kept to myself. And then we finished in the afternoon. And then I waited. Finally, we received news of when the movie would be shown. And I made sure not to miss it. They started the movie after school special. And partly through the first half of the movie, there I first appeared. It was so fun to see. But I still hated the way they did my hair. It was a great experience. Fast forward many years later. I was in my 40s, and one of my coworkers, somehow we got into a conversation, and I mentioned Scott Baio and being in that movie. Now, I did not bring that topic up. In fact, most of the time, I forget all about that happened in my life. But he was fascinated. And so he actually went on IMDb to make sure I wasn't lying. And he found my name, Cherie Heckman, my maiden name, and my movie credit in The Boy Who Drank Too Much, and my character's name, Melinda. The problem was, from there on, he never called me my real name, Cherie. He always called me my character's name, Melinda. It was irritating, and nobody else cared. People would wonder, why is he not calling you your name? Why does he call you Melinda? So then I would end up having to tell an abbreviated version of the story to them. After a while, people would talk about it, tease me about it. It's not that I couldn't take the teasing. It was just I was embarrassed. Who cares? I was 16. I'm now, or at that point, was in my 40s. Let's move on. And that served as a reminder. I learned a huge lesson because sometimes in our life, we get stuck in our past successes and our past identity. And how silly and unproductive is that? Can you imagine if I always told people about that movie and if everyone started to call me Melinda and put that dumb high school identity on me? And now I'm a grown woman and I am active in other areas of my career. And so I want to encourage you, appreciate your past, learn from your successes, but don't get stuck there. Don't let your identity of the past shape and be attached to who you are today. Today, you need to look towards the future. What is next? What do you want to achieve? What successes are you called towards accomplishing now? That's how growth happens. Thanks for listening. Now you know the true behind-the-scenes story of my movie with Scott Baio. Have a good day, everybody.